Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's not 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, why am I saying that? That's my opening tagline. It's bright and early, 3 a.m. I decided to take a little more time creating my videos. A lot of times I rush. I see 3 a.m. as a deadline because a lot of people wait for my videos. As soon as I download it, I see a small group of people watching it, which I love. But I don't want to sacrifice the content. I don't want to rush to make a video just to get it out there by 3 a.m., if you know what I'm saying. So the last couple of days, last week or so, I've been taking my time. If I don't find a story or a subject or something to talk about that really is important to me, by 2 a.m. to start composing a video, I'll take my time and I'll just put it off to the side. So that's what I've been doing for the last week, because I want good content. Okay, so this morning, it was one of those mornings. I was actually in the middle of my sit-ups. A lot of times they say exercise gets the blood flowing, especially to your brain, and you do a lot of your best cognitive thinking when you're exercising and the blood's flowing. And I found this to be true. So as I was doing my workout here, I thought about comments I've gotten. The video I did yesterday about being numb, I talked about insurance company and how I had a back injury and how I'm numb from the waist down on one side. And before, how I've talked about my recovery and all the stuff I used to do, the stuff I used to use. A lot of it shocks people, especially family and friends. Or when I talk about what happened to me, my mother dating the cop, and subsequently what he did to me for like 4 years when I was 11 to 14 or 15 years old. And I've gotten a lot of comments over time, a lot of times from people close to me, asking me like, Daryl, why do you talk about this? Just let it go. I've actually heard people say that to me before. And as I get further into recovery, over 18 years, I've had families say, you don't have to call yourself a recovering addict. You don't have to say you're an ex-crackhead, an ex-junkie. That's demeaning. Why do you say that? And I want to talk about that. The thing that came to my mind is I'm not going to hide in shame. The reason I talk about this stuff, there's a couple reasons, but the reason I talk about it is I know who I am now. I'm confident in myself. And I know, like with what happened to me with my mother's boyfriend, I realized, I was a victim. And the more that we're tempted to stay quiet, the more that predators like him win. And the more people like what happened to me, they suffer in shame because people don't want to talk about it. You see what I'm saying? That's when the other side wins, when you don't talk about it. And I'm kind of shocked because family and friends a lot of times will tell me, you don't have to talk, because they're almost embarrassed for me or embarrassed themselves because I'm talking about this stuff. And I will not hide in shame, or about my injury, there's nothing shameful about that. Surviving the tough things in life, and coming through it and being able to talk about it and not hiding in shame, and being strong still. That's what's important. I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to, pretend everything's okay. Because when you do that, like I said, the people that caused a lot of this harm, they win. Like yesterday, I talked about the insurance company and how they put off. They denied there was anything wrong with my back and sent me back to work. And subsequently, I got hurt worse. And to this day, I can't feel below the waist. And I see this $50 million CEO walking down the sidewalk, and it's companies just like his that denied my claim. And I'm now half paralyzed from the waist down. With recovery, it's kind of a different thing. We always have to remember that we are recovering addicts. If I forget that, and I start thinking, well, I'm past it. I'm recovered. I'm cured. That's when I've been to so many AA and NA meetings, and I've seen people coming back in all crushed, saying how they just went out and they just used or they just drank because they slipped, because they forgot that. they forgot that it was an ongoing thing, that you're going to have this for the rest of your life. You can never have another drink. You can never have another toke. It's a very quick, slippery slope. And I have to remind myself that every day. I'm not cured. I am a recovering addict. Even though I look like this now, 18 years later, I don't look anything like I did then. And my family feels like a little embarrassed for me sometimes, I think, saying, you don't have to talk about this, Daryl. You could be a normal person now. And I don't want to be a normal person, so to speak. Because that stuff made me stronger. It made me who I am today. And more important than that, I need to tell other people that there's hope, that recovery is possible. Or with the other things that happened to me, that you did nothing wrong. There's nothing to feel shameful or guilty about. You were used. You were a victim. So that's what I wanted to say. I will not hide in shame. I know who I am now. And the people that love me should know who I am and should understand. There's no shame in talking about things that have happened to me or been done to me or mistakes I've made in my life. Recovery is possible. Have a good Saturday.